Alright, here we go. So my first episode of NetRunner. And I'm telling you, I got about 200 games under my belt, but I feel mediocre at best. Yep, that's right. I get wrecked on a regular basis. And especially as the corp, I'm telling you, like, I have not figured that out. I have some times where the cards come out just right and I hit it. I hit that groove and I make some moves and win a game every blue moon. But whenever I'm dealing with actually solid players, especially, there's no hope for me on the corp side. On the runner, sometimes I'm a bit more competent for sure, but it's still one of those things where I definitely know there's a billion holes in my game, not to mention my level of understanding of the card pool. I mean, I've really just been, a lot of my time, I've played a lot of Criminal and HB because I really just want to kind of learn the play style and then move to the next couple of factions. I've kind of continued to go with Criminal, but I've started to say, you know what, I just don't know how to play HB. I think I'm a little bit better maybe at Genteki, but again, when I say a little bit better at Genteki, we're talking about garbage status, okay? And some of that's probably going to be from the deck building, even though I have been net decking for quite some time. I mean, a long while now. I've been just kind of grabbing these decks, trying to learn the card pool, and a lot of my stuff is old. Out of rotation. NetRunner, I play in 2 tournaments right now on the Green Level Clearance Discord server. If y'all want to check that out, I'll put some links to a good resource provided by, I believe, Dan B made it. He provides a lot of different locations you can go, one of them being the GLC Discord. So I'll put that down in the link, but at the end of the day, I got over there and I started playing in the modded tournament, which modded tournament is the System Core 2019 with the newest 2 Ash cycles that Nisi produced. Ashes, they're two sets they've done come out with. So that's a limited card pool, which is awesome, but you can learn the new cards, which probably going forward, the new cards from Nisi are going to become more and more relevant, and the other ones continuing to rotate out. So that one I've just jumped into just in the past couple weeks, committing to the modded tournament as well. And I've been running a NetRunner tournament for about 2-3 months now, to where we're in the sand cycle. So we are going through the collection, adding cycles and adding deluxe expansions until we get to, I believe, Data and Destiny, and then they're going to start over. Really excited to start over and experience it kind of from the core set, because I bought this game in 2015, but I only played 20 games over 4 years before I got to 2019, where I put down a good 100 games with a buddy and actually started really examining the card pool and stuff. And even then, I had a limited card pool for quite some time until the game went out of print, and I found somebody to purchase the whole collection, and I've gotten the Ashes stuff as well. So, but again, a lot of I'd say out of my 200 games, probably 125, about 125 of them, go a little higher, probably about 140 of them are in person, and probably about 60 of them are on Genteki, and Genteki has definitely started to become the place I'm playing more now as I'm trying to get more into it. So anyway, the point of this channel, I got on a whole soliloquy without even explaining to you what we're trying to do here. Basically, I'm NetRunner. I'm interested. I have done a lot of watching other people play, watching, reading stuff, learning about the game, because I just love this game. I'm telling you, I love this game. I don't necessarily have the time to put in the level of plays each week that a lot of these guys do that are able to get beast mode in it. And even if I did have the time to put in a number of plays, there's still a chance I could be out here sucking profusely, because maybe I'm just not that smart in the way I need to be thinking like this. I have my areas, but a lot of me in board games and things like that, which I love board games. I'm a board gamer first, even though Android NetRunner has become my #1 game. But I do a lot of seeing what other people do and learning that way, because it's just, I'm smart in other ways, but not necessarily super creative person to the point where I'm identifying these combos. And I've already started to see myself identify some combos now that I have began to learn the card pool more. I'd be like, oh, I wonder how that would interact with this, right? And even though, again, when I say learning the card pool, we're still talking about a lot. Probably I might have a decent understanding of maybe 25-30% of the card pool. The rest of it I have to keep going back, and I'm like, I wonder how that works. Hadn't played it, things like that. So again, I'm not only trying to show some other noob runners, excuse me if you're offended by that term. I don't really care, man. I'm happy to make fun of myself. I'm happy to admit that I have weaknesses and I want to grow and become better. That's what I love about board gaming, is seeing you grow and learn more strategy, and that personal growth, more than just winning a game, is personal growth for me. So I'm interested in showing new people and new players and people who hadn't even started playing yet but might be interested in it. This is what's going on in the NetRunner world at this time. This is what the history is. I want to learn the history more myself because I'm just like really into it. But just sharing that to my level of understanding as a noob, and also then playing these games and asking you guys on the back end to come in and comment and tell me, hey, what could I do better? How could I build my deck better? How could I pilot it better? All those things I'm interested in gleaning from the community. Anybody who's willing to provide input to help me, escalate my growth a little bit, because again, I'm putting down somewhere between 2 and 8, and a lot of times it's more like right around that 4 games a week, and that's just not going to be enough for me to get any type of level that's outside of just mostly casual, right? So I'm going to try and make this motivate me to play more games each week and do this, but also I'm going to use it as a way for you guys to kind of share things with me and challenge me on stuff so I can become better. So anyway, we're playing the modded tournament today, and let me make sure. All right, I see I'm playing Gasman 14. Hopping on. All right, so I'm going to go over here and I've meant to show you my deck list. I will show it to you at the end. We're at the competitive scene. And again, so he's got me playing runner first. And there is my modded runner, Gabe Santiago. Let me go ahead and show this to y'all real quick. I need to swap over here and hop into this guy. Let me see where we're at here. I don't want to. Okay, he's taking a second. So anyway, I got my Blueberry Diesel going on, Bravado, Dirty Laundry, Easy Mark, Emergency Shutdown, Hostage. That's going to let me pull a connection out, potentially. Inside Job, a connection resource, which I made sure Katie Jones is, so hopefully I can get that out early. That's kind of my game plan. Spearfishing, just having some different tools from there. Special order, if I can't get any of my all of my programs out that I might need, I got a way to get those icebreakers out. Sure Gamble, Test Run. Once again, a little bit of tutoring going on there. Tutoring being the way that you can get into your deck and find the cards you're looking for. Got a Boomerang. I mean, this is a pretty standard probably build at this point in the game, with some few exceptions, because people are really using Paragon as criminal and Headquarter. Oops. Yep. And then again, Abagnale. Man, tell me how to pronounce that, in fact. Abagnale. Man, it's killing me. Bull Gutter, Galter, Corroder, Data Sucker, Fairy, Rozeki. I tried to add in that mix because I see it all the time, and I want me some Trickle Economy as well. Self-modifying code. Beta Door, Armitage Code, and Katie Jones. So resource light on this one for sure. Okay, so we're getting started here. And I'm not super great at data sucker. I get wrecked by data sucker all the time. So I see how it works, but I haven't really practiced myself. I do like the fact that we got an Armitage code going here and a sneak door beta going on. I almost want to keep this. I really do, but at the same time, I really would like to get some other stuff. Let me know, but I'm gonna mulligan, take a chance here. Let me see what I'm working with. Yeah, I like this. I like this personally myself better. I got a couple money cards. I got some ways to put some early pressure on with maybe a HQ. Let's see what his special ability is. The first time each turn you res an advertisement, the runner loses one click. Let me come over here real quick. Okay. All right, he's getting started here. So his ability is the first time each turn you res an advertisement, okay, the runner loses $1. Not cool. Not cool at all. He's probably got a ton of advertisements in his deck. I've seen this a little bit. Let me scroll in just a hint. I think I can get us a little bit bigger and also go ahead and hit that F11 button. Then we'll come over here and move that to there, and I think we're ready to roll. Let me stop wasting this time. Let me let them know. Setting. Ready to play the game now. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Let's definitely go ahead and run. I want to run this. Oh, it's got to be an ice server. I don't necessarily know if... Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make him res some stuff with $4 here, and me get some money regardless. All right, a pop-up. Interesting. And I'm already down to 1 credit because of that. Let's see what we got. When the count, I've already lost one. When the runner encounters pop-up window, you gain $1. So he just made $1 in the run unless the runner pays $1. I'm already down to 1 credit. I'm going to go ahead and pay the 1. Pass ice. Let's see here. I think he should be letting me through here. He already fired the subroutines. Okay. I'm going to continue to approach. I got nothing to lose. I mean, I do have something to lose. I'm sure there's some trick that I have no clue about, but at this point, I just made this guy broke, and I made $7, I believe. Even though, I mean, granted, I didn't make fully $7. I'm gonna go ahead and end the run. I got some paper, got a little money in my pocket. Let's go ahead and make a run on R&D just to kind of see what's going on here. Pop-up window again. It's not going to do too much in the grand scheme. I'm going to go ahead and get me a Rizeki out there. And that's where, you know what, I should have drew a card there because I really don't necessarily have anything else I wanted to do, so I'm just going to draw a card, even though you're not recommended to draw a card. And at that point I would have, wait, that's double click now, but you don't want to draw, you want to draw your cards at the beginning of the turn. It's a basic principle of any card game, right? And I'm not great at it, but I try and live by that principle and remember it as much as possible. You know, that's one of those things. Draw your cards earlier so you understand the various options you have prior to just peg holing yourself into, oh, I played a Rizeki. I might have drew a sure gamble and could have got 4 off of it right now. That'd be worth me waiting a turn to get Rizeki out, honestly, in some ways. Maybe, so depending on the situation. All right, so he's already throwing out server 1. I'm gonna start my turn, gain a buck. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card. All right, I like that. Now I can just go ahead on R&D. Hedge fund. I'm then going to install a boomerang and put it on this one. Then I'm going to run server 1. So boomerang, I'll leave that there for you to read real quick. Alright, I am not going to fire this because I don't want to lose this for... I'll pay a buck instead of having to trash a boomerang, right? Even though in some ways it's kind of stuck there. I've got to use it for that eventually. But I'll just... Should I? I'll pay the buck this time. Pass ice. Access server. Maryland campaign. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and break them. I'm going to go ahead and break them right now to just keep them broke, even though it broke me too. I don't know if that's the right play, but that's kind of the way in that situation. He don't have any credits. I don't have much credits, so we'll just keep us both broke together with my trickle. Got my $1 coming next turn. Definitely need to get this hostage out next turn, though. I need to get this bad boy out to go in there and get that Katie Jones and start stacking my money. So and again, I'll hold this over here. I know how it is when people are playing and they're really good, man. It's hard for me unless I played the card to really follow along, so I like to hold that so folks can read it as much as possible. I might forget for some cards because I'm so used to them as well, committing the same failure. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and spend this, get my Katie Jones out, and I will install this, I believe, and then I will click to store $3 on her, and I will run R&D. This is me again. Here's my thing, right? I get it. All you vets, I see you guys having like 8 cards in hand at all time, and I'm so lazy. I'm always trying to make moves. And not just stop and build my hand up and get through my deck. And I think that's a major fault. Feel free to share what turns you think I should draw, because I think that's one of the areas that I'm least proficient in, is just being willing to say, hey, we got to waste almost a whole turn. Let me draw 3 cards. Let me keep building this rig instead of just doing runs and things like that. So definitely hold me accountable on that. I wish I had one of my draw cards came out. In fact, right here, I'm going to go ahead and store for her. I'm going to draw probably, I like that. That costs 1. I'm going to draw again. And, I think I'm going to go ahead and get my Armitage out there. So next turn I can start making some money and get that Rizeki out there. It's time to get, man, the corpse down. I wasn't even paying attention. See, that's another thing. I'm constantly living for the moment, in my turn, trying to make moves per turn. And most of these guys, they're playing chess. They're thinking 2 moves ahead. They're really concentrating on their opponent and what they're doing. Me, I have games where I'm like that. I have other games where I kind of just almost playing solitaire, just like I'm going to do my own thing and let these guys do what they do, and we'll see what happens. So missed the opportunity to make a run on R&D right there, though, for sure. And we'll see. There is this aspect more with shapers than criminals, I think, where they like to build that rig up and they're willing to get a couple of agendas, and then there's with the criminals, there's a little bit more of an ebb and flow from what I've seen. And again, I'm not any expert. I'm sure there's different archetypes within the different factions, but for the most part, criminals, they're building their rig as they go, but they're also continuing to put pressure on the corpse. So let's see here. I'm going to store. I always like to do it first because I'm trying to remember. Get some money. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and play this and get that rolling. And then I'm going to run R&D once again. Garbage pad campaign. It's not garbage now. Trust me. I love me some pad campaign. But it stinks because it's always like, man, you got to spend that $4 and you have to make that command decision whether you're going to go broke. And in this case, as you can see, I don't even have the money to do so. So but I am stacking on that Katie Jones. I'm one of those guys. I remember Team Covenant did an episode on it a while back, and they're talking about those guys where they just like the way the card makes them feel, like Sure Gamble or something. You know, that's one of my favorite cards, Sure Gamble Hedge Fund. Anytime it pops up, I don't think there's a card that pops up in my hand more that I'm excited about than that, especially when I got the 5 or 4 credits there, so I can just bump and get real quick. I'm like, it's just a great boost. But you know, people who are more efficient than me are probably gonna be like, I've had better, right? So that's just kind of my feeling on it. So, but I'm telling you, like, I love cards like that, and I'm really trying to grow. There's something right there. There's a little money. I'm about to get rich this turn and put some pressure. Hopefully it's not too late here. Draw. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, let's go ahead and store. And then I'm going to make $3, unfortunately, and just basically waste another turn. But on next turn, I'm about to go ahead and get this Paragon out. And things are going to get really, really crazy around here. I need a Sentry Breaker. Oh, I got a Sentry Breaker. Okay, he's going to start making money. It's about time that I'm about to put together a string of events here. And again, this is me being a little slower. I'm sure there's something I should have did better. I still, since he hadn't scored any agendas, I still have a chance because I'm about to run Begalter. I'm about to get that Paragon out there, that headquarter interface. And I'm about to start putting massive pressure on headquarters there. Right, so we're about to see if I can pull this off or not. And me doing all this talking, not paying attention to stuff I might normally pay attention might be a detriment. But hey, most times I lose both games anyway. I've been more recently more effective at just scoring or winning with the runner. So splitting runners with the other side. So let's see here. I'm up to 7. All right, how am I going to do this? I need some more money still. You know what? I'm about to be a little crazy here. I can't run headquarters this turn anyway. So I'm going to go and bump Katie one more time. So I'm at 2 already. I'm going to get some, hang on. Okay, I took that. Now I'm going to draw a card. Deploy that. Start to let him know it's about to go down. And on my next turn, I'm about to attack. It's probably too late though. He's probably about to score an agenda and do something to screw me all up because again, I'm playing checkers. A lot of times these guys are playing chess. I'm over here just thinking about, all right, here's what I'm going to do next turn. I'm going to deploy Begalter and I'm going to run this server. And then somebody comes up and does something that was unexpected because I haven't become more aware of the card pool as well as more aware of certain moves that are interactions between certain cards that folks like to pull off here. But yeah, we're about to start making some. I'm excited. It's hard for me to believe this is an agenda right here. I'm just going to be honest with you. Look at that. He's gonna put that behind something that he's gonna make a buck on. I doubt it. So what I'm gonna do is, it's time. I'm taking all the credits, deploying. I'm gonna make him think twice. So really, I didn't play that right, because what I need to do is I needed to go ahead and deploy some stuff and get on him. Oh, it is. It is. Oh no. Oh no. Stings the nostrils. Well, at least I spent some of that money to get these things out first. These cards here. So that stinks. Okay, how much is that to trash? It would have been 3 to trash. That's all right. We're going to rebound. We got $8. I'll take a couple of bucks off of that. And then we're running. We are going to run on headquarters. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to let the subroutines fire. He gets a buck. I lose a buck. All right, here we go. Data Raven. So I've got to take a tag or end the run off the rip. So I'm going to take the tag, and then I'm going to break that. Take tag. But then I'm going to get to break this for 4 and get 2 of those money back, because McGalter gives me 2 back. So I'm match and fully break. Only spent basically 3 to get through this server. Then I'm going to access this server for 2 cards. Come on, give me an agenda here. Give them to me. This is the part of NetRunner, man. I'm telling you, you got all the strategy in the world, but then it comes down to luck sometimes, man. And as the runner, you're sitting there like, yes, when you get it. And as the corp, you're sitting there like, how did he pull that one agenda out of 5? You know, it's just such an interesting. Ooh. That is interesting. I think I want to not add it. No. I like it. Got a buck for that. Vulnerability audit. Very nice. Very nice. You cannot score this agenda if you install it this turn still. That's pretty. So now I got a little cushion here. Oh, another one. This is unbelievable. When you score this, okay, so no penalties for taking it. I'm still so I'm at 5. Now what I need to do here, the way I'm looking at it, I don't know if it's what I need to do, because I suck. Like I said, I just get lucky sometimes. But what I'm thinking I need to do is just kind of build myself up so I'm ready to strike. Because this guy can't, it's not looking like he's running a fast advanced deck, right? I don't know what this is, but it's looking like he's pretty much looking to have to score and put his stuff in the server. So I'm going to mess around and just go ahead and stay moneyed up right now. I'm going to draw a card. Okay, I like it. Stay moneyed up. I don't think I got enough space to put out that sneak door, though. I didn't think about that. See, that's the kind of stuff oh, I got an extra MU because of Paragon. Never mind. We're ready to roll. We're ready to roll. I can put that sneak door. Just go right around that Raven. Make him. I'm just going to start. I haven't been being faithful to R&D too. I got tunnel vision, thinking about headquarters and all. Okay, this guy's running something here. Is he about to score? I'm going to save that click for last. I do believe here, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to start turn, gain 10, deploy, run R&D, see if I can get lucky for a twofer. What I got here? Yes, I'll take a buck. Data sucker. I don't really need it right now. I'm going to put it on the bottom. Might have been a mistake. I got a couple of them though. Toll booth. Very well. Now, I have a feeling this guy doesn't have any agendas in hand, but I'm going to see two of his cards, so we'll see. F2P, Sentry, break one subroutine on this ice only. The runner can use this ability, and if they are not tagged, add one to the grip. Give the runner one tag. Alright, no action. Remastered edition. That's game. Unbelievable. Well, I'm starting off well. All right, so I bet he's about to fire up the next one. Let me hit him up. All right, so one down. Again, that's not always the case by a lot. And I don't know if Gasman. I don't know if Gasman how much experience he had. Maybe he just got agenda flooded that game, or maybe he's new like me. I don't know his scenario. A lot of times we'll end up having those conversations, which is awesome, right? I mean, that was usually there's a little bit more conversation after the games than that, but at the end of the day, it probably went and probably what he drew. It looks like he had multiple agendas in his hand, trying to figure out how to get those out. So hang on, I'm talking to him right here. Give me a second. But yeah, so just trying to see. Let me see what he says. Sorry. All right, so I don't even know what I was talking about. Let's see what oh yeah, here's what we'll do here. I'll definitely go over to the deck builder and talk about my core deck, because my core decks suck, even though for this model one. Now let's just be frank here. Again, for my NetRunner tournaments and most any other times I play, I end up going straight up with the net decks, and then I'll play some games and I'll add in some cards. Usually I don't see any real fruit, especially not in the corp side. Now on the runner side, I have made a few substitutions and actually seen my deck go from not winning to winning. But in the corp, I keep on swapping stuff out, and I feel like sometimes it just makes it worse. But really, I'm talking about playing like 3-4 games on a deck before I'm making substitutions, and I don't necessarily know if that's enough plays, right? Because you could literally have those 3-4 decks have the cards come out all wrong. Have them come out. There is that chance to where you need them, but at the same time, the other thing I think about is if you've got a deck and the cards hadn't come out right 3 or 4 times, it might mean that you need 3 of a card, or you need to focus in on a few more cards. And I'm always like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I end up having a bunch of 2 and 1-offs of cards, trying to have all these different tools, when sometimes just keeping it simpler and going 3 cards, 3 of a card, so there's such a good chance you're going to get it if you just get to drawing. That is something that is very valuable. So anyway, with these decks right here, these are some of the few decks, and I'm playing in a tournament, like I said, the modded tournament. These are the few decks that I have built. The one you just saw, and this one based upon that limited card pool of the System Core 2019 and the Ashes Cycle that they just produced. That is the card pool. So last game I played with this deck, I ended up forfeiting this to res an archer, and I could never get, and all I have really besides these 2, I never got the hostile takeover, so then I had to score another 3. So I had 2 3s out there for 6 points, and I'm like, bam, I'm good. I had a before I had a false lead. I forfeited that false lead to get another to save myself to have another 3. But now I got to score another 3, and as you know, the runner's getting stronger as the game's going on. So I'm just like, it didn't work out. So I'm gonna be very hesitant about resing or forfeiting either one of these for that archer here. I do have 3 oversight AIs in my deck, which gets rid of the element of surprise, but it allows me to res that archer without the aspect of uh, getting rid of a agenda, right? So anyway, I'm running false lead, hostile takeover. Those are just quick 1-pointers, and I just got to score 2 3-pointers. I love this SDS drone deployment. Absolutely love it. I get to trash a program if I score it. If they steal it, they have to trash a program. I mean, it's just good. I love that card there. This one here, you cannot score this agenda if you installed it this turn. It's just a 4-3, so I'm having a chance to get install, advance, and then hopefully pull that next turn, get them 3. So it's a great way to do it. So I'm trying, in this deck, I was trying to save my card spots for others. I made it so that I have 8 agendas, which there's usually, I believe, around 9 to 11 in a deck most of the time, because you're running a lot more 2s. For my assets, I am keeping in the ability to advance some cards and have some traps in there to keep them guessing. I've got daily quests, which I really haven't used this one very successfully yet at all, but I've seen a lot of other people using it, so I went ahead and added it in, but I have not found out how to use that one very well. This one's just a good card for the most part, because you deploy it for free. If you just gain $2 on that turn, it's done its job. Then if they come in to trash it so you can't get $2 every turn, then they're going to mess around and spend $3 and you still get another 2. So you're just about, as long as you get 2 that turn, you're just about guaranteed to make $4 off of this card for a click to install. Well, actually for 2 clicks. And they're going to lose 3. So that's a swing of 7 points. I mean, that's a swing of 7 money. So I think that's pretty good. This one here is one that I might not need in here, but I just kind of added it. It does put a little bit of pressure, like they've got to come in and eventually deal with that and spend 4 credits, right? So that's a cool card. I haven't really learned how to use it very well, but I'm trying. That's why I'm putting in stuff I've never played before, so I can grow and learn the card pool and learn these card interaction. I got some snares in there, and that is just to, again, keep them on guard. I'm trying to hit them whenever possible and surprise them a little bit with this deck. The first time each turn a run begins, so that's another one I can just kind of throw out there and make him come and trash it wall to wall. Now, some of what I'm doing in these assets might not be, I might need to, some of y'all might say I might need to get rid of some of my assets, because wall to wall really works best when you just have one resed asset in one server there, so you can take advantage of 3 of these actions here. Look here. All right, now for ice, well, let me go down here. So I got this one going just as another way just to keep these guys off guard and do keep working a little bit of damage in there along the way, and hopefully I can strike with a punitive counter strike, or I don't know if I have any others here. So I got that going on just to kind of, as a cheap upgrade, to kind of get in there and do some stuff. And then I've got that Chrysium grid, which is, I'm only running 1 of them. I should run 2, but and if y'all think I should run 2, I could definitely tell me what I need to swap out with that. But the Chrysium grid is really good for diversion of funds and various other card abilities that you can prevent them, and by making it not considered a successful run. So that's valuable. Secure and Protect has an additional cost to play this operation. Spend a click I don't think I've even seen this one in my deck since I've been playing this over the past few weeks. Search R&D for a piece of ice and reveal it. Shuffle R&D after searching. Install that ice, protecting a central server, paying 3 less. Oh, that's a good card though. That's why I saw it and threw it in there in this limited card pool, right? Hopefully I get that sometime and can deploy it, because and that definitely works out well for the Blue Sun ability as well, because Blue Sun gets to you get to take that card back. In fact, I should have started here for those who don't necessarily are new runners like myself. When my turn begins, I can pull a rezzed ice back into headquarter and get all the money back for it, which is why after I show you this card, I'm going to move to the real crux economy potentially for this deck. But this right here is just a great one, especially when you're running threes here. If I can hit, if I can have their card pull down and they get a 3 and I can come in and be up on money next turn, I can basically come in and do 3 damage and take them out. They only got 2 cards in hand when they got that agenda. So that keeps them having to draw cards and keep their cards up to 5 and all to protect against that. So I'm trying to hit them. Again, oversight AI. It loses the element of surprise. So if I put out what's the big dog here? The Hadrian's Wall, right? Boom. That could be a great element of surprise, even though it's only in run. But with oversight AI, I res that I res it for free, and I pull it back. I just made $10. Now, what I saw in a previous game is the guys, they had their rig good enough and they just came in and basically knocked out both of those subroutines on Hadrian's Wall or anything else. They came in and defeated it because the runner's rig's pretty solid and modded as well. And so I lose. That big piece of ice goes to the trash pile, as well as oversight AI. And I pretty much spent 2 clicks last turn, res a piece of ice, to deploy a piece of ice and res it. And now I'm left to, they pretty much erased 2 clicks worth of work there for me. NAPD Cordon, I used this one last game. Man, this last game, I was so proud of myself pulling this one off, even though, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's not like I did something brilliant here. But playing this, it just about gives you an extra, turn to make that happen. The runner must play 4 plus 2 for each advancement token on that agenda. So if I put out a 5-3, and I put 2 counters on it, well, I guess I couldn't do 2 unless I had some way. So if I put one of those 4-3s out, put a counter on it, they're going to have to spend 6 additional money to trash that, right? And if I play the SDS drone, now they just had to spend 6 extra bucks and lose a program. So that's really good to kind of slow down the runner, unless they're just rich. If the runner's got 27 credits, whenever they get here, whoop-de-doo, right? They're still got plenty of money left and they're about to keep breaking you off. But if they don't have much money, then this thing right here is a gold mine. IPO standard, it's pretty much like a sure gamble in that you got to have $8, but if you do, you get $5 back, right? So sure gamble, if you have $5, then they'll give you 4. At the end of the day, that's how I look at it right here. So then you got barrier. I got this because I'm looking for, sometimes one thing I've learned, and again, I don't fully understand this, I don't fully appreciate it, I don't fully realize it and know how to use it as my advantage, but one thing I do know is that spiderweb, cards that have more than 2 subroutines means usually they're having to spend $1 per subroutine once they get it up to strength. And sometimes when you got certain rigs and everything, they don't even care about the strength as much. They're able to manipulate that strength a lot, but you're still able to tax them for a few credits because they still got to spend that 1 to break each subroutine. So I'm constantly trying to look for a mix there, even though I assure you, because of my lack of knowledge of the card pool, I don't do a good enough job so often. Let me check to make sure he hadn't told me he's ready yet. we're basically he's doing something. He said he might need a break in between our two games here, so I'm taking the event opportunity to show y'all my deck list here and seek guidance and help from the amazing NetRunner community. And I'm going to tell you like this: the NetRunner community really is awesome, right? Sure, I've been on Net Gentechie and I felt like people have just kind of like saw how slow I was playing back in the day, or did things and they just kind of was like, nope, not interested or whatever, and bounced on me. But I've probably had maybe 3, 4 experiences like that, and I'm man the 40, probably 30, 40 different people I played with on Gentechie, man, them guys have been so nice, or gals, whoever, I don't know, men and women. They've sat there and said no problem. If you're playing a little slow, because now I usually try and remember and let them know. Look, I'm playing with a new deck, got some new cards. It's going to take me a little bit longer to read those, but those guys are like, no problem. They're super helpful. They'll be like, you were supposed to res that right there. They usually don't have a problem if I miss a res window before the turn to res a pad campaign or something. Then at the end they're like, man, no, and they're always encouraging. They're like, no, you played that pretty well. I'm like, man, I'm out here sucking. But I don't say it like that, but that's how I'm feeling. But they're always like, no, you played that well. I saw an area right here where you could have did that, or they'll ask me a question, why didn't you play this? And so, I mean, it's really just a great community. Now, as far as if everybody's really as nice, right, as what they are on the behind the screen whenever they're playing Netrunner and wanting to see, I'm sure they want to see more people continue to come into this great game, and they're caring about it. Now, whether they're really as nice as they are in here, it doesn't matter. I don't know them personally. I can't say, but one thing I can say: the way they treat people on a regular basis throughout the community, they're nice. They're nice, they're understanding, they're trying to teach, they're trying to help you come along as a young buck, and I just really appreciate that, because it just feels like they genuinely care about you succeeding and about you having fun, and I appreciate that. So back to the ice list here. And this one here I've got here because, let's see, when the runner encounters this ice, place 1 virus counter on it. I just got this one for a way to kind of get an early barrier out there that has some good strength, but obviously after about turn, by the time they run it a few times, this thing's going to get weaker and weaker. So I'm sure there might be a better barrier, but that's the one I saw at a card pool that I was interested in dabbling in a little bit. Whoredom. I've played Whoredom many a times. I'm telling you, I want to be an HB guy. I want to be an HB guy. I think I want to be good at all 4 corporations. But I've always wanted to be an HB guy, but I just can't figure it quite out. And so I'm leaning more towards Gentechie, because even though I'm not real great at bluffing, I have those moments where I make a move and it feels really good whenever you bluff somebody out, right? So I like that feel. And then I really like Waylon with the ice advancement. I like the ice advancement. It offers something new, especially when you start adding in different cards. Like I was playing Tenanin Institute as an ID, and I'm able to ice up my or advance my ice. I mean, again, I'm probably doing it terribly, but it's fun, right? It's fun, and I want to become proficient at it, and then it still be fun. I don't want it to not be fun, because I've now become proficient at it. I want to find decks that are enjoyable to play, but also competitive, right? Because I'm not the kind of guy who's out here trying to break it. I mean, listen, this is the one thing I'll say. I think it's a plus for Netrunner. They obviously don't give cash prizes for when you win, and that helps. I think. I've never really wanted to be in the competitive card game scene. I've always just wanted to be a board gamer, but I'm telling you, you guys make me want to be in the competitive scene. I mean, there's just so much depth to this game. It seems like such a great community, and I just really I want to be you guys. And that's even though I haven't wanted to, and I don't necessarily want to. I kind of want to be you guys now. Y'all keep on trying to make me be like you guys, and I'm just like, all right. and I'm just kind of like warring with that in myself because it is an investment. It is a time investment whenever I got 50 other board games. And the reason I got 50 other board games is because I culled my collection from 107 because having so many games was really kind of stressful on me. I wanted to I wanted to be able to enjoy the games I had and play them over and over again because again I told you what I love about board gaming is personal growth. But with the board games, I've got all these board games still here too that I really want to invest in and continue to enjoy, even though this one is definitely getting the most plays by a lot in the past 2 years. I mean, by a lot. So, but that said, I'm definitely trying to balance my enjoyment of board gaming with my desire to just really just grow in this game and maybe one day get to a place where I'm like middle of the row in competitive circuits maybe. I mean, I don't have any aspirations to be able to put down the thousands of games you guys do at the top, testing decks and doing all that, but hopefully I can find myself in a place where I'm a competent player and maybe people are like, oh yeah, Spray, he's a fun guy to play with. That'd be enjoyable to be a part of the community like that. And if it doesn't ever happen, because for whatever reason, oh well. But right now, I love the game and I'm interested in providing some resources for new guys and also learning how to grow myself. So this one, again, I mean, this is self-explanatory. If I can get some advancement tokens on there, this one gets even crazier. Caduceus. Caduceus. Cadius. I like Cadius. I think maybe that's how they say it, but Cadius. This one, Trace 3. I really like this, the way this one works, because, hang on, let me check something here, make sure you ain't ready for me yet. I really like Ocadius because you're willing to go ahead and put in a little bit of money, right? Like with the first Trace, I'm at a Trace 3 already, so now I can pop a 2 credits. Even if I add 2-3 credits, as long as they don't break that, I'm gonna get three back. So I pretty much spent no extra, but made it hard for him to do it. And if he does break it, this guy could potentially, if he has no links, could be potentially spending 6 money right there. So, and he's not going to want to do that because he's going to want to save his credits so often, unless he's just got a ton of money to break the Trace 2. So unless the runner's got good money, then this one, as long as it can last, right? I mean, because it's a century with 3, they're going to throw out a mimic or anything else just to completely negate this thing pretty soon, at some point. But if you can get a couple of hits on Cadius, or at least that first one right, you're looking at potentially making a few bucks, or at least staying the same, and then getting a nice end run there at some point. Archer. There's very few people that probably hadn't heard of Archer. If you've played the game more than a handful of times, and this one, I'm not really good with this one either. I haven't learned how to just make it super valuable, but I have pulled it off and got to trash a couple programs a couple times. It feels super rewarding. It always feels terrible to give up that agenda, which is why it's great to throw it in with an oversight AI. And the problem is, if they do have what they need to break it, you're in trouble. But if not, then you pull that back next turn, get your $6. You can put it out there, or you can just keep it out there as something that they've got to spend. You didn't have to forfeit an agenda, but you still got to break those 4 subroutines even after you get your century up to strength. So I mean, it's definitely got some value, especially when you add it in with that oversight AI. And again, whenever I start speaking in, what's the term, definites here, my definites are so tentative, okay? Like, for me, this is all I know. So when I start saying Archer with oversight AI is a great combo, it might not be anything worth anything to anybody who knows what they're doing in this game. But for me, at this point, listening to conversations, playing it a few times, it seems like a viable strategy to use. And feel free to type in the comments if you think that is an incorrect assumption, right? All right, let's see what else we got here. Arquette. You can advance this ice while there are three. Oh, I love stuff like this when you can get that bad boy. When it becomes stronger, when you get three of them on there, like hoard them. Man, I love whenever I can beast up the benefits of it like that, and now it can't be broken by AI programs. I mean, all that's just so fulfilling when you finally get it up to three and you're like knocking it out. This heist has +3 strength, and the runner cannot break more than one of its printed subroutines during each encounter. Yep, pretty good. Gain one, place one advancement token on install card, which continues to add towards your ice. Right, that one right there, you get a buck and you get to place an advancement token on another piece of ice, or even if somehow you had an agenda out there and you're able to bump that up. And then, while this ice is protecting headquarters, the runner cannot break more than one. I like that. I sometimes I really want to use it on another server, but this one really needs to be played on the headquarters. All right. Well, that's my deck. Again, feel free to provide me some guidance. I've kind of shared why I've included it to a certain degree, even though a lot of times with ice, I'm not necessarily trying to come up with a cohesive ice strategy as much as I'm just trying to put together. I'm making sure I got a handful, a few barriers, a few code gates, a few sentries, and then trying to look to see, can I get those barriers, a few in different price ranges, having some cheaper ones, having some more expensive ones, having a sentry with strong strength, having a sentry with a lot of subroutines, just different things like that, just trying to play it around with my limited understanding of really how to tax the runner. And I know that's what it's a lot of times you get to a place where you're not going to stop the runner. From what I've seen, again, this is all me sitting back and trying to glean from other people's videos and reading and watching me get wrecked by other people. But you're trying to, what you're really trying to do so often in NetRunner is you're trying to get it to a place where these guys are having to spend a lot of money to get through that server to the point where they could potentially break themselves for 9 credits to finally get through a server. And now you've got that window. I have not mastered that at all. I'm not super amazing at that yet. But that's why we're here. And I'm excited to hopefully have some of you provide some feedback. Still waiting on him. So let's see. All right, so back to my we'll go back to this real quick and I'll just kind of show you. So Blueberry, I got the Blueberry Diesel trying to get some in-faction card draw going. Card draw is vital for games like this. I don't use it as much as what I should probably. I don't value it as much as what I should, which is why I probably lose a lot. Bravado is, and the reason why I know card draw is important is because I see people with like 12 cards in their hand just willing to trash half of them after a turn sometimes. I'm joking about 12, but it's just like, man, how are they able to do all this stuff and keep drawing like that? It's just really impressive. But a lot of it's obviously something that I learned from Andre from Metropole Grid. Click compression. It's finding ways to include cards here to where you can take, you can play a diesel and get 3 cards, or you can put out an Earthrise Hotel. This is the way I understand it, at least, and you can get that draw. You can get more bang for each click that you're utilizing, and obviously that's a talent that takes practice. And I'm just going to tell you like this. When I listened to Andre from Metropole Grid, half the time I don't know what this guy's talking about because it's just above me. I can get the gist of it a little bit, but I can't really appreciate it because obviously he's not hovering over every card for like 20 seconds so I can read it and then pause it. And that's why I listen to him live because I want to be there and all, but at the same time I'll end up probably just giving up about halfway through usually and then going back and watching his stuff where I can pause it and look at a card and then press play, because that guy is pushing out a massive amount of content at the rapid rate. This guy has got a gift, right? He can concentrate on multiple things. He's concentrating on all the game, and he's knowing everything about this game. He's reading Discord, and he is speaking at the rapid rate, providing detail and information that is just phenomenal with hardly any uhs. It's a gift. It is a gift, and I appreciate him. His commentary for the tournaments. Again, I only have long shot aspirations to ever be in anything like that, but he made that tournament feel like we're in it. This game should be on ESPN, and actually I think it should be, just like the video games. You know how they do video games on ESPN like a sport. This game is that good, but his commentary makes it feel like it's a soccer game or something where he's describing. He's like, and then he's got this, he's grabbing this and goal, and I mean he gets so excited about it. It's just like, man, this feels like a legit thing that's going on here that could be mainstream. Whenever he presents that commentary. So like I said, it's just a gift. I'm completely bought in. The dude is super nice. Whenever I ask him questions on his stream, he'll end up just taking the time and be like, that's a great question. And he'll end up going in and providing a very thorough answer. And I'm sure there's other people on that stream that don't know it. And that's one of the reasons I ask the questions, because I'm interested in his opinion and I know he's going to provide a detailed explanation. But I'm also interested in asking the question because I'm sure there's other people out there, or even probably vets, that have a different opinion, and he shared his opinion. I'm creating I'm creating a way for that to be on video for good. I mean, it's going to be on YouTube. Somebody goes in there and they get that question and they just learn something about NetRunner, right? Or they just, a conversation ensued in the chat because I asked the question, he provided an answer, and it's leading to other people talking about things in the community. And that's just, it's just a beautiful thing, I think. So I like to get on there, and after I've learned something that week, I like to ask him a question about it and get his feedback and get his understanding, and just really continue to grow myself. But I just enjoy it. It's just really good. Anyway, back to the deck here. I know I just go off on rabbit trails. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. I'm just a guy who has a lot on his mind. He tries to speak succinctly, tries to speak, in a rational order, but at the end of the day, especially first video, a problem with me so often is I want to tell you everything, and I'm like, wait, I still got another video to go. Just chill out, man. You can talk about that next video. So, but it's just one of those things that's who I am, and I'm just gonna be me and hopefully grow to be better. Especially if I sound super annoying to you guys, my apologies. I'm just trying to be real and just trying to provide some type of content for new people like myself, and also just continue to let you guys have a chance to tutor me. And really, because your comments will be in my video, others can possibly glean from it as well. So I think that I hope this will be something fruitful. It might not be. Nobody might be interested in participating, but hey, at the end of the day, I got a couple of my games on YouTube that I could go back and watch and see what's up if not, right? No harm, no foul. Dirty laundry, it's just a staple. You go and make a run, you get 3 money back at the end of it. You get 3, make a net of 3 money at the end of the day. Easy Mark. Now this card right here, I've always heard it's really not that good. First you got to put it in a card slot, then you got to draw it for a click, then you got to play it for a click. So really you're only getting one, you're really only making +1 from just click for credits, right? You're only making a +1 dollar amount. However, I heard it said just the other day by somebody that is true. But at the end of the day, when you're sitting on 0 credits and you need to get to 5 to get a sure gamble, or you need just something real quick, that thing can provide you that little bump to get you back in the game quick, right? So I just threw one in there, especially with the limited card pool, and I was out of influence. Actually, I got 1 influence left, but I went ahead and added it for whatever reason when I was making this deck, just to have me a little way to boost, get a little money at some point potentially. Emergency Shutdown, not great at pulling this one off just yet, but man, I have pulled it off a few times. You make that run on headquarters, and you're looking, at this point, you're looking for something. For me personally, I'm usually looking for something that costs more than $3. You know, I'm looking for something that costs maybe 4 credits or whatever, versus something that low, unless they only got 2 credits, right? If they got 2 credits and it's a 3 reser, then I'm going to go ahead and pop this out so that I can make a run that turn and have a free run potentially. So that's kind of the benefit of that card. I'm still working on using it and becoming proficient with it. Even though a lot of this, you know, it really is not going to matter because the next rotation is going to come out and several of these old cards are going to be gone. But I want to just experience NetRunner from day one. Whenever it was, you know, when you're dealing with criminal decks that you're like, man, how do I even do anything with this deck? You got a deck build, obviously, because the power so low for just a criminal. I'm talking about original core criminal. You haven't added any influence into your deck. The breaker suite is just brutal in it. The Fem, the Ninja, and I believe the Aurora, they're all super inefficient compared to the Anarch Breaker Suite, unfortunately. And I've actually been watching some of the Will and Dunn series lately. I just found him on YouTube, Will and Dunn. Check him out. That guy, he goes into each of the factions and describes some of the issues he feels about the core set, even though obviously he has a positive outlook of the core set as a whole, but he still is critical of it. And it's a very good series for me to not feel bad, because what I want to do is I want to be like, man, I must suck to not know how to use these cards right. And there is one that I totally believe, Femme Fatale. Femme Fatale, that I see all these decks, especially I think before 2014. I hadn't watched all the tournaments in 2016, but all of these decks are running Femme Fatale for $9, and I'm sitting there like, how do I make that happen? And every time those guys pull out some stunts and put out a Femme Fatale, and they are just wrecking that one server. It's just really quite a interesting situation, because everything else besides the one server that you put on it seems super expensive to bump Femme up there. So anyway, Hostage. Now again, I pulled this one off today, and that's why I had it in there, is because I got limited resources, and 2 of them are Katie Jones, and I need to get Katie Jones out at the beginning of the game if I'm on a user. Otherwise, it's like late game. I usually don't necessarily want to start stacking money on her and wasting a click for that each turn that I could be doing something more aggressive. So this is a great way to basically have another Katie Jones in my deck, but have that tutoring potentially. All right, I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that. Had to use the restroom real quick. Alright, so next we got inside job. I mean, that's just a staple of criminal NetRunner right there. Not much to talk about. I definitely, a noob like me, and probably a lot of players are going to rely on having some inside jobs in their deck to get by some challenging ice scenarios, if you will. Let me make sure he ain't ready yet. Okay. Legwork. Legwork is a big one for this deck. I'm pretty much trying to, even though in that last game I didn't put that much pressure on headquarter for a while, but once I got rolling, headquarters is where I won the game at, basically. So legwork's that way. If I can get out a couple of headquarter interfaces and then run a legwork, I won a game like that a couple weeks ago because I had a headquarter interface and I went in there and ran with that. I basically get to see 4 cards, just like that. So, great way to keep headquarter honest right there. One problem is you can't use it with Sneak Door Beta. So you have to make a legit run on headquarters to pull this one off here. Spearfishing. Opposite of inside job, you get to bypass the innermost piece of ice instead of the outermost. Special order, another just staple of the core set here. You're going to be able to go in and find whatever ice break you want and add it to your grip. I mean, it don't get much better than that. But again, I have a lot of ice breakers in here, so I just put one in there. Just another way. And again, y'all let me know if hostage and special order isn't really needed in this deck and I could put something else that might benefit me better. Definitely let me know on that. Sure Gamble, remembering this format is System Core 2019 and the Ashes Cycle. So all the other FFG cards are not available in this format I'm playing here, called Modded, on the green level clearance server. Alright, Sure Gamble, test run. So I went ahead and put this one in there. When this turn ends, add to the top of your stack. I went ahead and put this in there as another way to kind of tutor a little bit. It might not be the best, but I've never really done a whole lot with test run, as well as the other card. I can't remember what the other card is that does some stuff like that in the shaper. But anyway, I've never really messed with test runs, so I wanted to put it in here to kind of have it to get the feel for it, even though it might not necessarily be needed. Boomerang, that one right there is I mean, there's some people running this. Let's just put it that way. It is become a staple of the NetRunner community at the runner side. So it's pretty good. And headquarters interface gives you an additional card when you make a successful run. Paragon. Now this is another one that's become a big console in the game, and that is when you run, you get a buck, and you get to look at the top card of the stack and choose to put it on the bottom or not, which helps you make decisions about your draw. So it's just a really solid console that I enjoy. I've also grown to really like Lagos lately, especially with Leela Patel, because what happens is whenever I believe that's only whenever the corpse scores. So when the corpse scores an agenda, now all of a sudden you're getting rid of a unrest card back into their headquarters, and you're going through your whole deck and picking some card you want. I mean, that is powerful. It's on, to me, that combination is on par with Paragon and probably what's the original breakers? name there. Come on, that's pitiful. I can't remember that. It was not logo. Anyway, the original Gabriel Santiago console, it ends up giving you 1 credit every time you make a successful run, which really pairs well with his 2 credits for making a run on headquarters. So if you can pull that out with like a data sucker, now you're getting 3 money when you make a run on headquarters, and you're getting a data sucker counter on your virus counter on your data sucker. All right, so Abagnale. This one is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite code gate breaker. My favorite code gate, because I'm a rookie, is obviously Gordian Blade. I mean, it just, by the time you pay that install cost, I mean, it's just the corridor of code gates, right? I mean, it just is going to flow. It costs a lot more influence. I believe it's at 3 influence for a Gordian Blade. But man, I love me some Gordian Blade. But this right here, it does limit you in the fact that you've got 2 credits to break to add 2 strength, which means if it's a 3, you had to spend an extra credit to break. But other than that, it's a pretty solid card, and it does have this flexibility, which I've never really used. Bypass a piece of Codegate ice currently being encountered, even if it has strength greater than Abagnale. I'm sure there is some sort of scenarios that I probably should have used that ability on already, but I was too scared to lose my Codegate breaker and not win the game, right? So it's kind of like learning how to take chances like that. And see, here's the thing. I can learn the card pool, but it takes extra skill to really learn the right scenario and the right way to use these cards together. And that's the challenge that I find, especially only playing 4 times a week at this point. This one, I used this one in that game. It was beautiful. I love getting $2 back after I've completed it, even though it can be expensive at times, depending on the ice to break. But even if you spend 4 to break, you only end up spending 2 to get through a century, which is pretty good. So it's not bad. This one, Corridor, I use Corridor as a crutch. I mean, the thing is just amazing. It's just cheap. Get $2 out there, build up some money. You feel confident you can break through any barrier as long as you got a little bit of money in your pocket. Data Sucker, I included this one because I am trying to grow my skills with Data Sucker, but so often I'm like, I don't want to deal with all that because it adds, here's the problem for me right now. It adds an extra level of thinking that I'm still, because at this point I'm having to think about all these different things. I'm having to think about my cards. I'm having to think about how the players across from me's playing. And when you add in Data Sucker, you have to get that timing right of being like, okay, I need to make a run on this server to go ahead and stack up my Data Sucker so I'm ready for him. And so that's just an extra level that I haven't really wanted to get, I haven't really wanted to dig into to take that brain power to figure that out completely, even though I should have already more than what I have with it. Fairy, I got the 2 Begulters, but I went ahead and put a fairy in there too, just in, if I don't get these yet, I can have a fairy there as a crutch. So I got 3 sentry breakers, 2 barriers, 2 code gates. Then I got some money. Then I got a self-modifying code, which can get me whatever I need when I need it, and I got a couple sneak door betas. That's kind of my programs there, as I'm trying to have a bit of variety. Again, this is a limited card pool, which means probably what I've got going on right here is a lot stronger in the modded format versus the standard format, where you've probably got a lot more options and decks are a whole lot more high powered. So keep that in mind as you're critiquing me. There is a chance that this is a great deck list for modded, but it would be pretty weak in the standard. So, yep. Let's see what's going on here. Nice Sunday afternoon here. Just relaxing. Getting my games in this week just on time. I usually get them done quicker. I try and, be faithful to, if I committed to this tournament, I'm going to do everything I can to play those games and support the tournament. I appreciate the guys. Name is Dirgel, Dirjel, and Black Cherries, and a couple of other people, Dan B. There's multiple people running that green level clearance site. And those guys are, the fact that they're willing to take out their time to coordinate tournaments continually like this, even though in tournaments I'm using that loosely because it's not like we're getting prizes and getting renown or anything. It's a low level tournament for people like me who are noobs or just people who want to go back and reminisce and enjoy the old card pool. But yeah, it's one of those things where the fact that they're super nice to keep that up, I want to let them know by my participation as well as me letting them know personally. I tell them straight up, man, y'all guys, I really appreciate you guys for taking the time to do this. And I like to, but practically, I say if I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to do everything I can to play these games and not be some type of burden on these guys like every week coming up. Sorry, I couldn't get my games played. So can you make some type of, what is it? Man, I know the acronym ID, intentional draw, or whatever for me. And again, I don't think they mind as much. I don't think they probably mind at all. In fact, I saw a thread there where they were like, yep, I'm thinking that's the direction we might go, to where we might just start saying if you couldn't complete your games, and it was a mutual ability to set up a time frame, then we're going to count that as an intentional draw. So I don't think they're as concerned about it as I am, but I just want to let people know, not only by my words but by my actions, that I appreciate their efforts, I appreciate their time, appreciate them maintaining this community and caring for newbie players when they could be out there spending their time beast moding it with the big dogs. That's just the kind of stuff that people should be appreciated for. All right, so let's see what we're working with here. They've got the Rel Kit Peddler. The first piece of ice you encounter each turn gains Code Gate. Hadn't really done much against her, so she could be sitting pretty nasty. I wish I had this hand for an ice and reveal it. Install the. I wish I had this hand like about 5 turns in probably, but for now, I don't know. I don't really like it that much because I don't have enough money to do anything with it. So I'm going to mulligan. I like this much better. Much better. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to start the game. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see here. So, Cadius and Cadius. Now, these are both two really good ones to get out off the rip because I could potentially make some money straight up. Headquarters, R&D. I almost want to. Hold up, hold up. R&D. I almost want to go new remote with this. Make them pay for the trash. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Let me check my deck builder real quick and see. This is one plus of having. I've got how many of these? 3 of those. Yeah, I'm good to let one of them go if he wants to spend $3 for it. All right, I'm gonna res Cadius. All right, so we're at 3. So if I bump it up to 4, matter of fact, if I just leave it here and he decides to break it, he won't have enough money to break the next one. So I'm going to leave it right here at 3. See what he does. Give me that money. I might have should have went up to 4. I got $3. There we go. Now he's still got 5. You know what? I'm going to bump it up to, I'm going to leave it at, I'm going to make him spend a little bit of money if he wants to get through. I'm going to hit 2 of them, $2 to make him spend 4. That still leaves me the ability to res this Cadius if I need to. Let it fire. All right. Come on over to R&D. See, I'm so short-minded. I'm just like, yeah. I'm so proud of myself for that one stop. It means nothing. This guy's about to beast mode. Look at this. Use each ability on this resource only once per turn. Gain 2. Install a program or piece of ice, paying 1 less. It's a really good card. Ooh. That makes life easier for him when he makes a run. I'm going to go broke. Oh, well, actually, maybe not. All right, so if I stay at 3, I'm just going to leave it at 3 once again. Think that's the right play. He gave me 3. Nice. All right, now I'm going to bump it up to 3 to make him spend most of his money. Keep him broke. Alright, spread resolves that. See, resolves 2 unbroken subroutines. Did he steal me? Nope. My turn! Oh yeah. Oh, wait. First, I need to do a few things. Alright, so first thing I need to do is res that. Start my turn. Gain $1. draw a card. And I think that's all I want to do this turn. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that can be advanced. Done. I do want to... Oh, I needed to do that beforehand, unfortunately. So now I'm going to go boom. This is going to break that, but at least I'll get a buck or a card every turn. Alright, 4 credits. 1 click left. I want to go that way. I'll try and remember to take my one of them ice back next to me, I think. Got a diesel to draw 3 cards. I hate this because I end up having this here and I don't end up getting to take advantage of it like I want to. But at the same time, I'm spreading things out and got him having to make command decisions around here. That's $3 for 1 click turn, basically, with these two together. Unless I want to draw a card. Okay, he's doing that. No further action. If he trashes it, which I think he just did that to get money. Let's see, 1 more click. No further action. Is he going to trash it? I'll take that. Start turn. Let me think. Do I want to bring this back? Yeah, I'm going to bring it back. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fake him out a little bit, I think. If I can. I'm not saying I know how to actually fake anybody out. Come on now. This is old Rookie McRickleton's here. But I'm going to throw this sucker out, so now he's like... rookie mistakes. Throw that one on server 2. I don't think I got my money that turn, though. That's not cool. So if I get an oversight committee, I'm going to go ahead and res that Hadrian's Wall and get me $10. That's what I need to do. I'm not moving with any kind of good tempo here. I can already feel it. I'm just dragging along, trying to get some stuff drawn. Now, y'all let me know if I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I don't feel like I probably am. I probably needed to, again, draw some cards. Always... especially as the court, relying on my 1 card a turn to try and make something happen. It's just, oh my goodness, a stem hack? Going hard for that right there. What is he running? He's just running a stem hack though. It's not like, I don't guess I necessarily need that. Continue to encounter ice. Oh, he does have... Oh, wait. Whenever you access cards, yeah, it doesn't affect the successful or not. He just installed some Gordian blade out there. That's my dude right there. Love me some... I like the art. I like the way that card... It's just easy. It just runs. It just goes well. Let's see what they get. We saw 2 cards. They know what my next 2 cards are. I wish it was a snare. Alright, let's start turn. Let's go ahead and Take that one back. Get some more money. Mandatory draw. I love it. So, we are going to get rich. This is how I feel about it. And this is me always thinking I need a bunch of money, which probably sets me up for failure. But I'm going to get some money, and then I'm going to make a move here. I'm hoping I get an oversight AI. I'll res this for free. I'll bust out this lock, send this guy out there and advance it, and then make that guy come through with a barrier, because he's already spent all his money getting all this code. Oh, I forgot about that though. Let's see, this is a 7. If I could advance that, I might need to start advancing this for whenever I do get an oversight AI. I can just go ahead and, okay, drawing card. If I do get an oversight AI, it'll have more strength, which will make it harder for him to kill, especially with 4 credits, because he's gonna have to pay, you know, one. He's gonna have to pay like already 5, 6, 7. He's gonna have to spend 7 money already, even with his ability. Drawing up. Give me an oversight AI, and it gives me an archer. You know what, in this case, alright, so in this case, how do we run this here? I'm going to save that archer for now. I think I want to go for it, honestly. I think I want to make it super expensive for him to do this. I'm going for it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this bad boy out there and remote 2. Okay. Then I'm going to advance that sucker. Let's see how much money he can get, because I still have the ability to res this bad boy and make him spend even more money. But if he doesn't get above, he needs... Oh, that's a different one. No? No, it's right here. He needs $4 plus 2 for each advancement. So he needs $6 by the time, and there he goes. He's got it. He's got it. What's he searching for? A Femme Fatale, and he's gonna slap it on there. Unbelievable combo. Oh wait, does he still have to spin? When you encounter that ice, you may pay 1 per subroutine on that ice to bypass it, which means he won't have enough money to steal that sucker if I res this bad boy. Booyah! He's going to have to spend 2 credits, which will put him at 5, which will not give him the 6 he needs to get this agenda. But I'm broke. What? Did he spend it? Pays 2. He's down to 5. No further action. You can't have it. I like these lockdowns. And I think... Alright, I am definitely going to start turn. Oh, but if I take the... Oh, you know what? I'm going to take that bad boy back. Get that money, honey. And then advance, advance, advance. Score! Ha ha! Look at him. Look at him. Out here sucking. Out here sucking. But not, I actually felt like that was a pretty good move there. And because of Blue Sun, man, Blue Sun really covered a multitude of sins for me, right? Because had I not been able to scoop that guy back and get them $10, I'd be sitting at $2 right now. I'd have 3 points, but I'd be really hurting as far as the rest of my flow. So Blue Sun, I would definitely recommend Blue Sun to new players. There is that aspect of understanding, which I haven't mastered by any means. In fact, I'm not good at it all, of understanding that when when you do take that card back, you do lose a click because you installed it once. Now when you pull it back, you got to install it again. So, but especially when you're dealing with the flexibility of having money, it's worth it to me to next turn slap that Hadrian wall back out there, understanding I got $10 to res it if I need to again. All right, so what he did was he just drew a bunch of cards, really. Start turn. Oh, buddy. The problem is, what happened? Oh, Femi went away. That's right. So, I don't really want to do oversight committee right now because Ashford, this one needs to go over HQ. I like it. I'm sending that one over HQ. I'm sending... I'm going to go ahead and put this one out right now. And then I'm just going to gain... a buck. I don't know. I don't like, see there right there. I just didn't like that gaining the credit right there. I know I need more money. I don't want to get down because I need that 10. I kind of want to go Hadrian's Wall because he's at 7. I'd like for him to be a little bit broker before I put that oversight AI on this bad boy to try to get that 10 money back and really boost. And he's just getting more money though. I probably didn't handle that right. This is definitely an area where I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. Tell me what I did wrong. Okay, you got another one of those. You got $10. I need to get a better ice over there. Yeah, let's do it. He's going to look at 3 cards right now. Luckily, I only got 8 ice in my deck here. Okay. Pays 3 to increase the strength. Continue to pass. No further action. Looking at 3 cards. Don't steal one of my 1s, though. I need that 1. Oh, a snare. Yes, I win. Oh, my goodness. Your boy. Your boy. That's so good. Yeah, so Gas Man, he's over there in several time stones ahead of me. Let's put it that way. So it's late at night for him, I think. So he wasn't sticking around much for conversation this time. But normally, you know, we get some good conversation with folks. He was dealing with some stuff at his house and he had to get the game fit in. So I wasn't able to work with him. I was able to work with him throughout the week a little bit, but both our schedules was just off. So yeah, I appreciate it, Gas Man. 14. Again, who knows? That was just a corny, what I think somebody called a corny snare off in the deck or something, you know. But hey, it got the win for me. That might not ever happen again. I got off to a great start on this channel because I'm going to tell you like this. I haven't won a corp game in either NetRunner or modded since I started this. And that ain't nothing but... really, that's just pure luck right there. Just them grabbing that snare right there, right at that moment. But that was a good include. Really, the snare ended up being a good include, especially for this where they're running R&D heavy like that. I really enjoyed the games. I felt, again, this is, I don't know where Gasman is as far as his number of plays and all that, so I can't really grade it. I am interested to see y'all guys' opinion on whether I played it proficiently. I did what I needed to do with what I had, but yeah. So first 2 games wins. Don't get used to that. Do not get used to me winning games around here, okay? I'm going to be lucky to pull off an average of 1-1 where I split with the runner. I'm telling you. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. I've blabbed on enough. I've shared a lot of stuff that I feel already in this video. Covered a lot of ground, even though probably not as proficiently as what I'd like. But I definitely covered the ground. And I look forward to, hopefully having more conversation with you guys. I will show you this, right? Let me go here real quick. Get that. So yeah, so here is your green level clearance server. And right here, we have the NetRunner tournament where they set up a weekly schedule here of who's playing what. Here's me getting wrecked the other day with a sweep, and an old hedonism bot over here making a funny joke. I don't mind at all. I appreciate stuff like that. I'm not a sore loser. My level of competitiveness is this. I want to do my best every game. I never want to be like, let me cheat to let somebody win because I feel bad for them. None of that. I want to do my best every game, but I am completely satisfied with the results, understanding that I could have did stuff better, understanding that people are just better than me because they've had more plays, or they're just smarter than me. Any number of combinations equals me to say I gave it my all. Losing is how you get better so often. At the end of the day, losing is how you get better, and I just want to keep growing and being better. So here we go. This is how you do it. You let them know in the thing, hey, I want to be part of the tournament. We do a Swiss for like 4 weeks with the current card pool, and then we swap to, well, actually in modded you don't swap, but you can play with the NetRunner tournament. You play the same card pool for 4 weeks, and you got to keep the same ID all 4 weeks, and then they start anew. They add in some more packs, and you got to play you pick your ID afresh. You say, I want to play this corp and this runner, and you can change any cards in there, but you can't change your ID. And modded, you can literally play a different deck every week on that limited card pool, and you basically just come in and say, I want in. He puts you in every Monday. He pairs you with a folks. You got a whole week to play your games in both NetRunner and modded with that one guy that he pairs you with from each tournament. And you could just play one of the tournaments. At first I was just doing NetRunner only, and then I started playing modded. And then here, find a game. This is where people come in and say, anybody want a game? Anybody want to do it? So anybody want to play in these particular formats, and then they game throughout the week, not necessarily for the tournament, but getting better. Here I go ahead and just say, hey, I got to put in at Dirgil. This is how you report the game at Dirgil. Table, I can't remember what table that was though. Spray Bizzle, where am I at here? Spray Bizzle. Now the only reason I'm up at the top is because I just got in. I just got into the tournament, so they just put me some random place. Unfortunately, I'm going to stay at the top and get my butt beat probably next week. Table 2, swept at Gas Man. I don't like saying swept, man. I don't want my man Gas Man thinking that I am bragging about my wins, because I'm definitely not. I count myself one against one. Table 2 won both against Gasman. Yeah, I don't want anybody to ever feel that I think I'm something at this game. I want you to understand that right now. I watch you guys play, the knowledge you have, listening to my man Andre spit that knowledge. I'm just like, whew. I am at the bottom of the rung, okay? So again, I want to express that anytime I can to folks, just saying, hey, I won both against them. That's it. I'm happy. I'm happy I won both. I'm somewhat proud of myself for winning them, even though it could have just been a fluke. A gas man could have got bad hands on both games. Who knows? But yeah, so that's just that's just where I'm at right now. Just continuing to try and grow. And so, anyway, if you enjoyed me mumbling on, I know. I see. I'm not as good to do two things. I'm playing NetRunner, which is just about all my brain power, and then I'm trying to talk. But if you enjoyed hearing me mumble along, working through these games, and you want to participate in not only gleaning information as a new player that might come about, and or providing input and helping me to grow and just having some conversation about NetRunner with a noob to help us noobs understand, I'd appreciate your input. I appreciate your time, and I thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch you next time I'm playing. Talk to you later.